Yes, many thanks for staying with us. You're welcome to the main interview segment of New Dawn on Ogun State Television. Well, this morning, our topic is quite vital. In any democratic setting, separation of powers is quite vital because we have basically three arms of government: the legislature, which makes laws, the executive, which implements or executes such laws, and the judiciary, which interprets the laws. Well, but this morning we will be focusing on the legislature. Some believe the legislature is even the most important arm of government because no country can exist without laws, or there's no democracy without laws. And that brings us to the role of lawmakers in entrenching good governance. You agree that in recent months, legislature has made the headlines of the 10th National Assembly, what they always do. And this morning, live in the studio is Honorable AFOLABI AFUAPE, a member House of Reps representing Abeokuta South constituency in the 10th National Assembly. You're welcome to the program, Honorable AFUAPE.
Thanks so much. Good morning to our fellows at home.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And Simiat Abaru is my co-presenter. Simiat, you want to go first?
Okay, we're looking at how to entrench the role of lawmakers. You are one of the vibrant lawmakers, and you've talked about different interventions, and definitely we'll be starting on the note of you giving us an assessment of what good governance is in Nigeria as of today, and whether or not the 10th Assembly has been able to drive the kind of development the people that you're representing have been pushing for so far.
Well, let me first and foremost thank you for this wonderful opportunity. And when I have an opportunity like this, I first go back to my constituency to thank them for giving me the opportunity to serve them. Without them, I will not be where I am. And since I'm here, I want to thank everybody for you giving me the opportunity to come and lend my voice to how far we are going or what good governance is all about. You all agree with me, like Israel said before, that lawmaking is very vital. The only thing that differentiates democracy and military rule is lawmaking. It's the lawmaker, legislators. Because either the military, you have the executive arm, you still have the judicial arm. The only thing that be lacking is legislative arm. That shows the importance of the legislative arm of government. And what do? We are into lawmaking, not just lawmaking. Three major roles. We are into lawmaking. We have the power of the purse, that we call appropriation, and we also have oversight function on the executive and even on the judiciary arm of government. It is supposed to be played by the three arms of government independently, but in such a way that there will be collaboration one way or the other. One cannot operate in isolation of the other. For instance, I was asking myself one day that lawmaking function is actually from us. Are we the lawmakers? And I have reason for saying that. And I was asking somebody, supposing the 2/3 of us make a law, 2/3 of the whole house make a law, and we pass it to Mr. President. Mr. President said, no, I'm not assenting. That ends the whole thing. Despite the fact that we are over 2/3 of the house, that ends it. I was asking myself, are you not saying that only one person, that the president, will determine the fate of the 2/3 of all of us? The thing calls for questioning to me, calls for us to look at that area. But on the second law, I said, yes, must that system give us power to just make law unchecked? That's a way to check us. That if we make a law and the president feels this law is not good enough, ditto, we also have a way to check the executive to say what you are bringing to us, we are rejecting. And look at what happened. We've been struggling to allow government autonomy all this year. What happened? The Supreme Court make a pronunciation to say it must come to pass. Some are saying that is indirectly a lawmaking function. But to me, they are interpreting the law in the way they think will suit the system. What we are saying is, in lawmaking, whatever we want to do, we have to do things in such a way that we must promote good governance. How do I mean by this? What is good governance? I told people that it's not the amount of law that we made that's important to Nigerian people. The amount, what matters to Nigerian people is how do they get food on their table?
So what's your assessment looking at what has been going on over a year ago and how your role is
going there
as critical?
That we're not where we're supposed to be yet. Sincerely speaking, this is still not a Nigeria of our dream. There's no doubt about that. But when you are laying a solid foundation for development, they are bound to be sacrificed. There are bound to be issues. There are bound to be problems. All these problems, once you now lay that for this foundation, start building on it, you see that it will not, before you know it, you have a structure that everybody will be proud of. We all agree in principle that what we call subsidy in Nigeria should go. It went. The president removed it, and we are still dealing with it till tomorrow. There is, to me, no new salary scheme, and that cannot be without passing into law from the National Assembly.
Exactly.
That we be able to do successfully now. In the implementation, we must see to it. We are talking of student loan in Nigeria today. It also came through a bill. The executive cannot do all this without being a bill. If I thought it's not through a bill, it will come through appropriation bill. It must be in the budget. It must be budgeted for. And once it's in the budget, if you don't pass in the budget or remove it from the budget, nobody, the president cannot spend the money. If you ask the president that you don't want this in the budget and it's taking the budget, we've also be able to checkmate the president that you don't have power to do whatever you think you like. And fortunately, that is People's House, because it's only in the National Assembly that all Nigerians have been represented. The president is representing the country, is the president of the country, is from a particular place, is from Lagos State, is from a particular constituency, is in a place, elected. The vice president is elected from a place. All other people that are working the president are not elected members. 100% of people in the National Assembly, we are all elected, representing our people in various constituencies. That is Nigeria. That is where we think Nigeria meets. That is where we meet. And that is where the fate of Nigerians is being determined. That makes it very crucial. This lawmaking function is very crucial.
Okay.
Well, you said the legislators of the National Assembly, checkmate the president. But what people say, okay, let's take this short break. When we come back, of course, we'll delve more into it. Stay with us. And our guest is Honorable AFOLABI, AFUAPE, a member House of Reps. Yes, Honorable, before we went on that break, I wanted to ask, you said, yes, the National Assembly checkmates the president.
Yeah.
But what we see is more of a collaboration because of the party politics, when the president and majority of the lawmakers belong to the same party. So they tend to collaborate. For instance, Ali Ndume, the senator from Bono, states. Yes, criticized the president, and we know what happened. Afterwards, was removed as the key position he held in the Senate, and so they say, "Oh, he's not a good party member." How will you criticize the president, that way? And you said we checkmate the president. It's more of collaboration, we see.
Well, I will agree with you. We are not working across purposes. We're supposed to work together. Nigeria gave us the mandate. The mandate of ruling Nigeria rested the president, the 5 presidents, 360 members, and 119 senators. We have that mandate to rule Nigeria. And as such, if you are working across purposes, you will not be able to achieve the desired result. And there's a rule in the House. Once a decision is taken, whether you like it or not, it becomes binding on you. You cannot go out to not criticize such decision, because we are saying minority we have a say, majority we have their way. One majority has their way, and you are part of the minority. You cannot be raising such issue again. And more importantly, the right or power of which the principal officer resides with us. We are not taking a dual position as a legislator. If you are saying, Moses, you can be our class captain today, you can say, no, we don't want to have a class captain again. We want to have seniors as a class captain. There's nothing wrong in that. But I know there's a rule that says once a decision is taken, you don't go public to debate it. Once you cross the line, there must be consequence of it. I'm not. It's happening in the Senate. It's not even that problem. But we are all legislators, and we know the rule, and we must abide by the rule. I'm not saying if the president, there are some things the president then will bring to us, and we reject. You don't need to go to public to say we rejected what president brought to us. If you think some things are good for Mr. President, we deny ourselves some statements now. We deny ourselves. Recently, we are on recess, but we are called to come back for something that will be in the interest of the nation. So needful, because we are giving the job by our constituents, and we must not disappoint them. But we cannot be antagonizing the executive and expecting results. We must work together. It is in their collective responsibility. It is check and balance. We check them, they will still need to also give them opportunity to also strive. If you are talking, you can see the minimum wage bill. You don't spend much time on it because it was long overdue before it even came to the House. Because we also felt for the country that if when we came on board, this is the fuel price, and now it's this, and we are still handling the same salary, kept on asking how people surviving. So it is important. So if they bring us, I think that is not in the appropriation bill. We have to put it in the appropriation bill before you cannot put it if you don't know how much it will cost. Until when the thing was now set at 70,000. Okay, this is how much it should cost the federal government. Let's put this thing in the budget. We will continue to collaborate with the executive. We can even the judicial arm of government. Every one of us must work together. One cannot live in isolation of the other. We cannot perform without the executive or the judiciary. When you make a law that contravenes the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, it is the right of the judiciary to declare such or to avail that. None of us a goal in different. It's like a football team. Some will play attack, some will play bet. All and some will be the captain. The president is the captain. Yeah. It's just a captain. As a captain, we must collaborate with him to get the goal. Yeah. If not, we will not get the goal. So
you did say that you have been checkmating the president. Perhaps you can just give some instances where perhaps you have to say no, or you have to provide that checks. In as much as you have to collaborate, you must also provide that checks and balances. So it must be balanced.
Whenever Mr. President brings something to the National Assembly, even appropriation bill, we don't take it line and sinker. We still look at it and say, no, this should not be part of this, this should be part of it, this should not be part of it. When they are not spending the money, we also still go after them to say, this is what it is appropriated for. As if it well spent. If not well spent, We call people in charge of the money to come and account for the parliament. Those are the part of the way we do checkmate. You don't know, you cannot just do things without being called upon to come and account for it. And when you are accounting to us, you are accounting to them. I went for one of our functions in Benin recently, and I told them, look, I'm a Yoruba, there's an outsider. We are not more than 6, but we all represent the entire country from each geopolitical zone. That is the way Nigeria we operate. So we don't need, if you want to bring budget, it's very, very unnecessary. And when a bill comes from the executive, because as anybody can send a bill to us, you can also write a bill and send to us, and we present. If a bill comes from the executive, we take it as a when bill comes from executive. So we are also expecting. It's the government that knows what. But what we are doing in other nations, and we are trying to do, is also to set up a budget office. They are also be preparing budget ordination that we think is different. So when they are bringing their own, we have a basis of comparison. You don't need to rely fully. And I think the progress has been on. It's happening in other nations, and we are working towards achieving that. So I cannot mention 1, 2, 3, 4, but there are a lot of ways we do checkmate the executive, and with little time spent in the elective arm of government, I think we're actually getting the result.
Okay, talking about getting results and how the people you're representing have been perceiving most of the work you've been doing at the National Assembly. The recent protest where people said, I think hashtag bad governance was how it was tagged, and citizens expressing themselves at different levels, different agitation. Now in the Southwest, they are talking about different things. You know, the kind of space that democracy allows for people to protest when they are not actually getting what is required. How do you respond to the plight of the people with respect to what you're also doing at the National Assembly, with the other arms of government, just to ensure that they have...
I want to thank you once again. This opportunity given to us, democracy given to us, we have had it so good. Even during military regime, they have the power of God. People do protest. And I was student unionist then. You do protest. You don't even care whether they will, because people must have a say. It is our country. It's our right to say things the way we see it. And Mr. President is also somebody that don't rise against injustice before he became president. So what Nigeria has done is not out of order at all. And it's a way to keep government on our toes. It's a way to tell the government that we are not getting enough from them and we should change our ways. But the only area we kept on pleading to our people is when you want to protest, don't let about violence that we will destroy government property. We don't have enough money. If you now destroy government property, what happens? We still go back to spend taxpayer money. Look at issue NSAS in Lagos, and they burn down the whole BRT buses. Who are those using BRT buses?
The masses.
The masses. So what has God got to do with Mr. President or the governor that has fleets of cars that we never that doesn't even know? But this thing is there as a so-called to the masses. Test somehow peaceful. It is a way. I don't see. It's not legitimate, and government also give them permission for that protest. Because let's hear your view. It is part of democracy. You must be able to say things and let us wait and do things in such a way that we continue to change the narrative until we're able to get the result. We all agree. We all know. Mr. President is aware that Nigerians are suffering. He's aware. So we are seeing this palliative care.
And that's why the people, like we talked about the protest, for instance, the people, we keep hearing the president say that we are aware that you're suffering, but of course the people would say that you are not going through what we are going through, so it's easy to empathize through because of the rate with which we have these things, the magnitude. So moving away from that, let's go to the different responsibilities, at your doorsteps. You are a member representing, a member here in Ogun State, and some would say that the subnationals have always been, talked about. They say the governors are also part of the solutions of the current challenges, and they talk about the collaboration between the representatives from Ogun State, for instance, with the governor to ensure that whatever it is that the governor is also pushing is not at cross purposes, along the line. So what kind of relationship do exist between you and the governor?
Well, thanks so much. We are lucky in Ogun State. Not only that, all the lawmakers of Ogun State, we are all from the same party. We have 9 House of Rep members, we have 3 senators, we have our governor, and we have Mr. President. That means we are lucky. And as such, it is expected that we should work harmoniously. We should work together. There should be collaboration, whether we like it or us. Discussing what will benefit Ogun State, what will benefit us as a nation. That's the kind of governor that we have. We are lucky because if it had been opposition governor, maybe we won't have the opportunity. And that also will pay off. If you have some things, we raised some things yesterday that if you think some things are needed in the National Assembly, come up with a bill. Let's go and push it. And the federal government has been assisting the state government in various ways, not because of the APC state, all the governors. The president is aware, knows that there is need for development of democracy to get to that grassroots. That's why he changed the narrative of local government and say let them give local government autonomy. So when the money go directly with them, maybe they have enough money to do. In those days, when local government was very, very active, nobody go to most of anything. Because the closest government to the people is the local government. What people do is to go to the local government for whatever they think they need. We are getting there, but we have a very good relationship, bringing a lot of foreign investment into the country. Mr. Governor told us a lot of opportunity that's coming to Ogun State. That even Mr. President will call and say, please, accommodate people that are coming to Ogun State for investment purposes. I believe strongly that by the time I'm here, the next 2 years, we'll be singing a different song in the country. We are laying a very solid foundation with our governors. But it is still not, and it's like if you get married, you'll be happy. By the time you get pregnant, you'll be suffering for many months. By the time you have the baby, you want to take care of her, she will cry in the night, you will do this. At the end of the day, if you grow up to somebody like us, then that's okay, my mommy, this is what I can. So it's like that. It is a stage you must pass through. The country is in the stage we must pass through. Sincerely spoken. But we cannot, at the same time, now I do tell people when I'm talking of palliative here and there, I'm saying, yeah, there are stopgap measures. There must be long-term solution to our problem, which I believe the government is not sleeping. It's not sleeping over it. Because even when Asiwaju ruled Lagos State, for the first 2 years, people were complaining. For the first 2 years. After the third year, people started seeing the magic, the wonder.
So, Honorable, you're saying we should wait to the 4th year?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying you will see the magic, the difference will show. But because if you have a president that's very listening president that doesn't really feel that pain, you're saying how do we feel it? We feel it because we know type of people that now depend on you. More and more people depend on you. If things, especially Yorubas, don't beg for anything for anybody. When they are comfortable, we now see what you are getting on daily basis. That is also part of indices to say that our people are still not comfortable. And President is aware.
Okay, well.
We that represent them, we are aware. We are also talking about this, and I know we are trying to put a permanent solution to all this problem. And
the awareness is taken, but Nigerians are also asking questions that if the presidency or the president is asking the masses to tighten their belts, we also see the president do the same thing, like how you explain the 21 billion naira spent on the BP's residents. And, let us somewhat feel these pangs.
Well, I want to say this: the security of whoever that is ruling the nation is key. That's our number one. If the president is down, the whole country is down. And as well, if you are giving here for another 50 years, so if you are spending money on it, you don't look at the money. Now you look at the overall interest of the nation over time. If you go and say, okay, don't worry, I don't want the house, rent a place for the 5 presidents to be living. Accumulate the money in the next 50 years and see how much it will be. And this time will not be an asset to us as a nation. That house, you spend 20 billion to build it now, you continue to appreciate over time. It's still asset of the nation. And there is no nation that doesn't spend heavily on the presidency or whoever, because it is not about the person, it's the office. There are some things that you are entitled to when you are in position, and nobody will take away that from you. And those things the president is not sacrificed. Even recently, all the lawmakers, the National Assembly, we also put down 50% of our salary for the next 6 months as a sacrifice to the nation. It may not be enough, it may not be too significant. When people talk of National Assembly, so you don't ask that, but I only want to bring that in once and for all. That somebody asked, and we are giving cash, what this, what that, what this. The question I ask myself, if I'm in private sector, if I'm in banking, by today, if I'm not the MD of a bank, I must be a director of the bank. As a director, I will have official card, not even one. As a way of entitlement. I'm not saying even the minister, I cannot say the minister should not have car. When something is attached to your office, and what we are getting, like in this nation, is for you to hate your movement. I told somebody, I'm not somebody that will say if I want to become anything, I want to be going with 3-4 different cars. So I need to clear the road. There are times we find that people in the executive arm of government are in need of it. Because they need to move from Abeokuta to Lagos 1 hour. They need to move from Lagos to another place, and you need somebody to help you to hate. It's to hate the job. So not
but I've spent like 3 times in the house, like 12 years in the house, so they have 3.
Yes.
So 3 brand new. So I mean, how will you explain that?
It's in banking, or let me say in some good organizations, they change the car of the activity. I'm not saying that is a justification. I'm saying if it's for the job, the person elected the first time, he campaigned, he got mandate, he's entitled to something. The mandate ended. He had used the car to do the job as the first mandate. The mandate would have been entitled to.
Well, I think largely when you get the position of Nigerians, it's not really that Nigerians are not interested in the lawmakers getting what is due to them. But of course, the people are also saying that what is due to the people should be given to the people.
I agree.
So that is where, to have. But of course, we're looking at what the economy is saying. We're looking at the security of the nation. An ordinary citizen, what exactly is that person? You talk about insecurity in different parts of the country, and Nigerians are the ones suffering most of these things. So because we elected people, the job is for them to fix those problems for us. That's the argument. And being insensitive, at times they will say that, somebody is getting. It's more like throwing those things in the faces of those that actually suffering and looking at it. So that argument is just trying to balance it, that you get what you want to get. Fix our own side of the bargain as well, because it's a social contract. I
quite appreciate where you are coming from. And as an selected member, there is no sacrifice too much for us. If I don't I'm not even giving any car, we do have car before. We do have car before. In those days, when you are elected, you are entitled to even